Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to the Modern Spiritualist. My name is Raheem. Today we're going to do the December general reading for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So if you know your sun sign and it's Aquarius, you're in the right place. If you know your moon and your rising signs, make sure to look for those as well. I did a little different spread for the month of for December. So keep in mind these are general readings. If you would like to schedule a personal reading with me so that you can see how these are playing out in your precise situation, then you can schedule a private reading with me in the description box below. Go ahead and like this video so that other people can see it. Subscribe if you want to see the next Aquarius video, and we will get into this. So I did a different spread this month. I did an overlay of 3 different decks. I'm using Thoth, Humean Tarot, and the Albano Weight deck. And we're going to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. That's kind of like 4 sections. Now, there's going to be overlap and things like that, but this will kind of give you a general look at how you can best apply these energies to different aspects of your life. So let's get into this. Let's look at health first. We have the Ace of Discs reversed. Ace of Discs is not a bad card, even in the reverse. Ace of Discs is about, this is about pure potential. What I'm getting from the reversal is just, I think there's a lack of willingness to accept that you do have infinite potential here for growth. So I get the sense that many of you may just be accepting something that you don't need to accept. So if you're having any like physical health issues or even mental health issues that are coming up, I feel this sense of I don't want to say you're giving up, but I think you're just taking whatever diagnosis you're receiving at face value, this is just how it is and I'm never going to improve. But what this Ace of Discs is basically saying is that isn't true. I can kind of use myself as an example of this in terms of, I have an ADHD diagnosis, I'm treated for it, treatment works well, but I have this process of mental rewiring that I do within my own spiritual practice, and my helping spirits keep telling me, stop looking at this ADHD pattern as a diagnosis that, is just this box that is what it is forever, because you're rewiring your brain. So eventually this is not going to be a diagnosis anymore. So just be really careful with diagnoses, because it's just diagnosing a certain pattern, very persistent pattern that you're experiencing at a certain time. It doesn't mean it will always be like that. And that goes for physical and mental aspects or diagnoses. Obviously that isn't always true, but that's often not the case. When you are dealing with a lifetime diagnosis, and plenty of people do, I'm not saying that, that isn't real. But what I am saying is that there's always a way to start hacking away at whatever the persistent pattern is, and to apply pressure from different aspects of your life. Often, just because we're in this Western contemporary society, we receive a diagnosis because, Western medical doctors, which go to the doctor, I'm not saying don't, but what they're not looking into is the spiritual aspects of it. So it's I was diagnosed with depression that I struggled with for years and years and years. I got one shamanic healing and it overnight fixed my depression forever. That really happened to me, right? So does that happen to everyone? No. But does everyone pursue those things? Often they don't. And so it really is a matter of, are you being creative with your solutions? Are you looking for a solution, or are you just kind of addicted to the problem? Okay, so just look at those things, because I don't feel like whatever you're experiencing is a death sentence. I think you can get better. I think you can heal whatever it is that you're experiencing, whether it's a minor issue or a major issue. I think that there are solutions that you're not seeing right now, and I would encourage you to start looking for them, and to start seeing this as a temporary experience rather than something that you're doomed to experience for the rest of your life. Okay, so just be careful. Be careful with what you're telling yourself about whatever it is that you're going through. Three of Swords. If this is some kind of disappointment or loss, the Three of Swords is a pretty mental energy. So, but it's not without heart either. So, I mean, at its worst, Three of Swords can kind of be extremes, like a bipolar situation, or like if you're struggling with anxiety and depression at the same time, or anything like that. So that may just be something that you're going through. This could just be loss, like maybe you've suffered a recent loss and you're grieving right now, and grief lasts a long time. In some aspects, it lasts forever, but it is still a process that you kind of move through. So if you're dealing with grief, you're not going to feel this bad forever. You will feel joy again. You'll feel happy again. Just allow yourself to go through these feelings and know that at least the extremes, the intensity will pass. Okay. Some of you may have just suffered recent heartbreak. If you're going through a breakup again, the pain's not going to last forever. I get the sense that you're in a very temporary situation that feels like it's permanent, and so it's just about kind of breaking that belief. Okay. And then we have the Page of Wands, which is great. There's still a fire in you. This is just asking you to light it. I mean, this is in the upright, so I don't think it's going to be hard for you to access. I think what's happening is the belief that it's going to last forever is covering the real energy underneath it, which is your willingness to heal and to burn away anything that's getting in your way. And so it's there for you. As soon as you eliminate the belief, you'll tap into this like wellspring of fiery energy that is intended to heal you. And and the fire is just saying not all is lost. Look for what you still have, and look for what you can grow via what you still have. Okay. There's this feeling of hopelessness that I'm getting from you. But it's just this veil over this reality of there's still so much here for you. And you are going to get out of this, whatever this is, okay? Okay, so let's look at wealth. We have the Six of Cups reversed. Some of you may be going to family to ask for money. But this is kind of with a heavy-headedness of like, I really don't want to have to ask for this, but okay. So it might not be money; it may just be some sort of resource or asking for help in some way. If it's not family, it may just be like your partner, your love partner, or something like that, which can also be a difficult conversation. Some of you, this is just someone that hasn't been in your life for a long time. May actually be showing back up in your life in a way that is kind of putting a drain on you. So just be careful with that. Not necessarily like you have to cut them out of your life, but if somebody is like draining your resources or your energy, or just kind of being parasitic in nature towards you, you might need to draw boundaries around that, okay? We have the Eight of Wands reversed. This is communication breakdown. So there may be a bit of fear here in asking for what you need. And I see it with the Six of Cups as well. There's the need to ask, most likely from family, maybe a partner, maybe an old friend. And then there's just this intense anxiety. Maybe you haven't done this yet. Maybe you know you need to do it, but you haven't done it yet. This is kind of like heavy anxiety around doing it. So I would just monitor the anxiety. I mean, I totally get it, and I don't know if the anxiety will completely go away until after you do what you know you need to do. But that being said, the more calmly you ask for whatever it is that you need, the probably more well-received your request is going to be. Like if you come at this with a lot of anxiety, people are going to pick up on that and reflect it back to you. If you come to them saying, I'm still on top of my game, this is just what I need because, you know, this thing happened or whatever it is that got you in this situation, just be like, I have a plan. This is what I'm going to do with the money or with the resources or whatever. But I am, you know, humbly asking for this, right? So that's going to put you in a better spot than I'm fucked, right? Which is just going to freak everybody out and amp up the energy in general. But I mean, you're Aquarius. I think you can reel it in. I'm not saying you shouldn't have the anxiety. I'm just saying if you can, when you're having the conversation, if you can get into as calm a state as possible as you communicate this, you're going to be better off in getting whatever it is that you need, okay? Five of Cups reversed. Again, are you looking at the bright side? If you see in the upright, this figure's kind of, there's these 2 cups behind him that are upright. There are these 3 cups that are kind of spilled on the ground in front of him, and the figure's kind of forlornly looking at the spilled cups, and he's ignoring the 2 perfectly upright cups behind him. Okay, so are you looking at the cup as half full or half empty? If you're looking at things half empty, make sure to take time to appreciate what you do still have. This is kind of this feeling of all is lost when all is not lost, essentially. I like this better in the reverse. I get the sense that you're aware. There just may be this feeling of like, you kind of can't help the all is lost story, even though you know that that's not completely true. You may just be kind of lost in the emotions of it right now. And I mean, you're Aquarius, you don't get that way often. And so whatever it is that you're going through, it may be quite a big deal. So don't beat yourself up over your own emotions. But do recognize that not even like the most logical of us are totally exempt from getting lost in the emotions and then not seeing the situation clearly. Okay, I think you're better off than you think. Maybe you're just being, you know, maybe multiple aspects of your life are applying a lot of pressure right now, or maybe, you know, wealth is not looking great because you have this diagnosis that you need the money to take care of. Okay, and that's serious. I mean, that is serious. I would just look for the people that are in your corner. You're going to be okay. You're going to get through it. You're going to come out of this okay. We have the Ace of Discs. This means it's not over. This is just a temporary moment in time. It's not permanent. So validate your emotions, but try to remind yourself that this is not going to last forever and that you are going to be okay, okay? Tap into this Page of Wands. Light the fire under you, okay? It's still there. That will to live well, to be in joy, to do what you came here to do, it's all still there. And that's, I think, what's going to fuel your ability to see the situation with more objective eyes, okay? Love, 4 of Pentacles. Are you being vulnerable with your partner, or are you keeping your feelings locked away? Especially if you're going through a lot right now. Now, if you're, you know, if you're single and looking, or you're in a new relationship, there may just be this feeling of like, okay, I'm going through a lot and I'm not intimate enough with this person to reveal that. But I think that might be coming from a place of worry that they're going to discard you than the reality of the fact that they are here for you. So I would encourage you to push back on that a little bit and maybe at least reveal some of what you're going through to your partner, if it's a new partner. Now, if you're married or in a long-term relationship where there's a lot of shared resources, this could be you guys figuring out the finances aspect, because we have, you know, this aspect of like needing to ask for help in your wealth sector. That just may be you and your partner figuring out how you're going to proceed with the resources that you do get to take care of whatever you need to take care of. This feels solid though, so if this is a partner that's helping you with your finances, you can lean on them. I get the sense that they're kind of the rock in this situation. So that's something that you can count on. So that looks good. We have the Lovers reversed. If you're single and not looking, use this time to get back in touch with yourself, because you may have lost track of that. If you're single and looking, don't jump into a relationship right now. You're going through a lot. You know, obviously have fun, but just be careful who you give your heart to. If you are in a relationship, again, I get the sense that some of you are just not communicating how you're really feeling to them, and that's ultimately going to create a barrier between you. And then you're not getting the support that you could get if your partner was kind of cued in on this thing. So I do invite you to be a little more vulnerable than you might be being. We have the Seven of Swords. You're keeping secrets. I mean, we kind of said that already. You're keeping secrets from your partner. And I'm not necessarily saying you can't. I'm just, asking if the secrets that you're keeping are worth it, or if all of them are. I don't think you need to go into an extreme here. I think there's a middle ground of you don't have to tell your partner everything, but you might want to share something. So I would just look into that. We have the Sun reversed. Are you happy? Are you happy in this relationship? And if you are you communicating to your partner that you are happy with them? And there may just be other aspects of your life that don't feel too great right now. But this is, I do see a breakup here. If that's the case, that's already happened, okay? That's what this Three of Swords is indicating to me, that some of you may have recently gone through a breakup. So if you're dealing with that, Lovers reverse, this is a time to reconnect with yourself. Four of Pentacles, this is a time to find stability again without that person. Seven of Swords, you may have been cheated on or betrayed or lied to in some way. And so, good riddance. Thank God you're out of that relationship, okay? You just need to heal and rebuild, and you'll be fine. That could be the Sun as well, in terms of a relationship may have ended. And again, the Sun reverse is a pretty good card. What this is saying is that the situation is better than you are perceiving it to be, and that's a theme that's kind of running through this whole thing. So many of you, maybe it just is a breakup. Maybe that's what this whole kind of thing is. Some of you just may be suffering physically or mentally from some kind of diagnosis, and maybe that is just impacting your relationship because you don't know how much to share. Okay, so those are the kind of the two main things I'm seeing. Destiny, Five of Cups. Again, we have the Five of Cups twice. Five of Cups in your health sector. Five of Cups in your wealth sector in the reverse, Five of Cups in your destiny sector in the upright. That's kind of big. I'm not going to say everything happens for a reason, because that's cheap. Okay, what I am going to say is look for the aspects of this situation that will help you in the long run. What are you learning? Okay, what are you ultimately gaining from whatever loss or experience it is that you're having? What is this teaching you to do? Because the Five of Cups is, again, all about cutting your losses and looking for the things that are still working in your life, because that's what you can use to start to build something better. Not to say that those losses aren't real, but that the losses are a teachable moment, and you can use that to gain wisdom that you need to go after something better this time, right? I mean, what you had was good. Now go after something better. The Queen of Cups, this is about your emotions. This is about being in touch with your emotions, which I think ultimately what this process is trying to do is get you to tap into that. How can you be more vulnerable, not just in relationships, but with yourself? How can you be more real with your own emotional landscape? And how can you be more discerning in terms of when you're in your feelings, versus when you're feeling objective, and to remember that if you're really in your feelings, what you are experiencing is not the most objective. So try not to catastrophize or worry too much. Feelings are just feelings, and so can your mind and your emotions work together to come into more wholeness with yourself? We have that with the Lovers reversed as well. It's bringing two opposites together. If your intellect and your emotions aren't on speaking terms, this is a time to bridge that gap, and to sink into your emotions in a new way, right? I mean, we talked a few months ago about busting through the wall. The wall's busted now. You're a wellspring. Embrace it. Embrace the water, okay? Nine of Swords. The situation is better than it seems. If your sleep is being affected by whatever this is, if it's by the diagnosis, I mean, I told Capricorn this too. And there's some repeat cards, so if you have Cap in your chart, make sure to look at that. That was a really vibrant reading, actually. But yeah, are you sleeping well? If not, what can you do? You can try breathing exercises, meditation. You can try binaural beats. You can try melatonin or CBD or just plain weed. I mean, whatever it is that you need to try to get yourself back on a good schedule is going to be key here. With the Nine of Swords, especially in the upright, this is about anxiety, so I get the sense that your mind is just really spun out. But if you see here, as worried as this person is, he's kind of cloaked or clothed or covered by this like divine blanket. Okay, so you're being divinely protected. That's what the Nine of Swords wants to tell you. The situation is not as bad as it seems, and if you can look for the good in this and what this is teaching you, then you'll be able to create context around this story, so that you're not so that your trust or your faith or your sense of self or your confidence isn't affected by this situation. Okay, that's what's really important. You want to stay solid in your core. Okay, and we have the Strength card. You're capable of more than you think right now. You have the tools and the resources to get through this situation. You can rely on yourself. You can rely on other people. Okay, I think that's all I have for you guys. You're gonna be okay. Just view this as a teachable moment rather than a disaster, okay? And view this as whatever you lost or whatever you're going through needs to happen so that in the next cycle, you can apply what you've learned through this cycle. So keep looking for what this is trying to teach you. If you engage with life as your teacher, then things stop just happening to you and they start being a conversation with you, okay? So don't let things boil over without seeing the beauty in what's there, because there's even beauty in tragedy. I mean, to lose means that you loved, right? And still do. And so just keep that in mind, that even the bad feelings, they mean that you're human and that you're capable of love, and the complexities and nuances of love, not all of which feel the most pleasant, but all of which mean something. And so if you can find your meaning in that, you're going to be in good shape for January, okay? So, again, if you have a personal concern and you want to chat with me, please schedule something in the box below. Hit like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next year in January.